or good afternoon, or whenever you're doing this. We're going to do a 15-minute glute activation workout. So everything's going to be on the floor. We're going to do 30 seconds per exercise. We're just going to cycle through them, and hopefully by the end, your pelvis, your glutes, your core, everything will be all fired up, either ready for you to start another exercise or another workout, or just to fit that nice 15 minutes into your day. All right, so let's get started. Come on down to the floor. So we're going to start in a 4-point stance. Hands and knees underneath us. You're going to pick up a knee, and you're just going to draw nice big circles here. So nice big hip circles. And the idea here is that I'm keeping my torso still. I'm keeping my pelvis still. And I'm just drawing a nice big circle through that hip. Good, let's switch directions. So I'm pulling through my full range of motion in my hip, my knees bent, and time. You can sit back for a second. We're going to do the other side. So same thing, tabletop position, pick up that leg, nice big circle. Totally normal here for the hip to click or clack in some places. If you want to avoid that section, you can. Let's switch directions here. And I'm lifting my core across my hips, keeping myself nice and stable. All right, take a break. Next one we're going to do, we're going to add a twist to a lunge. So from this position, kick one foot back, kick the other foot up. So I'm down low in my lunge, and I'm just twisting towards that leg, coming back down. Nice big twist, coming back down. And in this position, I want to be pushing through this front heel. I want to be staying active here in this front glute. Nice big twist open, come on down. Nice big twist, come on down, and I can sink a little bit here. Take a break, 10 seconds. We're going to switch legs. So front leg, other leg comes up to the front, back leg straightens. I'm twisting into that hip and back. Now if I want to drop this back knee, no problem. And this whole time, I'm thinking about keeping my core tight across my pelvis. I don't want to let everything hang out, unfortunately. All right, take a break. So we're going to come back to our lunge on our other side. And then this time we're going to turn into a Cossack. So from our lunge, I'm going to pivot into my Cossack. Pivot back into my lunge. Pivot into my Cossack. And of course, for lots of us, this Cossack is higher. No problem. We're just working on rotating through that range of motion, keeping our spine nice and tall. Just like that. And take a break. We'll do the other side. How are you guys doing so far? Whew. So take a step forward with my other leg. Nice long lunge. From here, rotate into my Cossack. Back into my lunge. Rotate into my Cossack. Now remember, if you need to use your hands, no problem. Right, so I'm keeping weight in my hands, making it a little easier for myself. And I want to keep my chest up proud here. Just try and stay as upright as possible. All right. Whew, take a little break. So our next 3 exercises are going to be on our back. So you're going to lie down, plant your feet. First position is neutral for our glute bridge. So my heels, my knees, and my hips they're all in the same, same line, parallel to one another. And in this position, what I want you to do is I want you to think about pulling your pubic bone towards you, lengthening your lower back, and then keeping it like that the whole time. All right, take a little break. Our next position, we're going to bring our knees together and we're going to separate our feet. If you have a mat, you want your feet on the outside of your mat. Keep those knees together, lift and lower. So still thinking about pulling that pubic bone towards you, lengthening the low back. This is called a posterior tilt. Pull that pelvis towards you. Keep that core on. Keep those knees squeezed together. All right, relax. Last position, third position of our glute bridge. Feet together, knees apart. Here we go. Lift and lower. So this is the most difficult one, to keep that posterior tilt, to keep that curl of the pelvis. But I want you to really focus on pulling that pubic bone towards you. Don't let the lower back extend. Perfect, just like that. All right, take a little break. So we're gonna come back to our tabletop. This is where the really fun part of the exercises start. Plant those hands. Let's pick that knee up to the side and back down. So my knee's at 90 degrees, my hips at 90 degrees, my core is lifted, and I'm just lifting and lowering. You want to keep those shoulders square, hips square, everything square against the floor. Great. Ready for the other side? I'm going to move over a little so I don't hit the wall. All right, so same thing. I'm picking that knee up to the side. I'm trying my hardest to keep the rest of my body square, not let anything shift or rotate, as I'm really working on using the outside of my glute med, to lift and lower this knee here. All right, 10-second break here. We're gonna do the same type of thing, pick up that knee, but we're gonna hold it and do a kick instead. So pick up that knee, kick out, and return. Now, earlier in the week, we did some of these quickly. I want you to go slowly here. I want you to think about keeping that body square, dropping this top hip towards the floor, even as you lift the knee. Beautiful. Nice roundhouse kicks here. Take a break. We'll do the other side. So plant those hands, pick up that knee. We're doing the other leg. I want your knee to be 90 degrees from your body. I want you to lift that core up into the hips. Keep everything square. That planted hip here, push it towards the knee that's in the air. So don't let the knee and the hip come out of line with one another. Keep the hips stacked directly over the knee. Keep up those roundhouse kicks. You got this. Time. So now we're going to do some circles. So what that's going to look like is in my tabletop, I'm going to pick up my knee, I'm going to kick out, and then I'm going to hold, and I'm going to draw little circles. Doesn't matter which direction you do those small circles in, because next round we're going to do the other side. We're going to do the other direction. So whatever you're doing, whether it's clockwise or counterclockwise, I want you to really focus on keeping that movement at the hip. Yep, just like that. And relax. So we'll do the other leg, also clockwise or counterclockwise. So pick up that leg, point those toes, nice small circles. So it's really important here, what I'm working on is keeping that supporting hip, that standing hip, not letting it come out over to the side. I want to keep it stacked over the knee. And I want these really small circles to be really precise, like I'm drawing on a piece of paper. Time. All right, how are those glutes feeling? So we're gonna go back to that first leg. We're gonna go the opposite direction, plant those hands, pick up that leg. Here we go. So I started with clockwise, so I'm gonna go counterclockwise here. If your wrists don't like this, come down onto the elbows, no problem. We just really want to think about keeping that body still and square. So it's glute workout, but it's also a core stability workout. I'm not letting my body twist, I'm keeping it square and relax. Let's do the other side. Little counterclockwise here. Plant those hands, pick up that leg. Here we go. Now of course, if with the leg straight it's too much, bend the knee, right? So tiny little circles, we're just shortening that lever. So when I have my leg fully extended, I got the full weight of my leg on my hip. Bending the knee brings that in a little bit, makes it a little bit easier. I'm still working on that range of motion. Perfect. Take a break. All right, how are you feeling? Not too bad? We've got two more. Next one, we're gonna swing that leg. So from here, I'm gonna bring my leg all the way up, all the way behind me. This one's the toughest to resist that rotation of the hips and of the spine. So I wanna keep my foot up as high as I can, right? So in line with my body, bring it all the way up to 90 degrees, all the way back. Beautiful. All right. Ready for the other side? Flip on around. If you're next to the wall, like I am. All right, straight leg, coming up to 90, and back behind me. I'm trying really hard not to let my body twist, not to let my body cinch on this side. Beautiful. Keep those abs lifted. We're almost there. All right. Whew. 10-second break. We have our last exercise. We're going to do a glute max kick or a donkey kick. So from here, pick up that foot, keep the knee at 90 degrees, and push up through that heel. Do you remember that posterior tilt? I want you to think about pulling the pubic bone towards you so we don't let the low back sink. We keep it high. Press with that heel. Almost there. Perfect. Last 10 seconds, we'll do our other side. Lift up that heel. Here we go. This is our last exercise. Lift and lower that heel. Press up through the glute. Keep that core on. Keep the heel nice and close to you. Just like that. Push away from the ground. You're almost there. 5 more seconds. And time. Whew. How do those feel? Ready for another workout? Thanks for coming, guys. Nice little 15-minute burner for those glutes. If If you're feeling like you need a challenge, I'm sure you could find some core cardio to do on my channel. Or you could do this again, twice in a row, might feel really good. I'll see you next time. Thanks.